The girlies have been asking for a tutorial on this heart-shaped tree skirt, and here it is. The first thing you're gonna need is the supplies, so I took the liberty of attaching the list. Stores may vary when it comes to supplies. You don't have to use the stores that I went to, but I'm just attaching it so that way y'all know where I got the stuff from. Once you get everything on the list, it's time to go to work. The first thing I did was take one of the tri-fold boards and cut it into half of a heart shape. Then I used that trace shape to cut the other half of my board to make sure I had 2 equal size hearts. From there, I used the foam board long ways. The reason why I say long ways is because if you use the short side, you'll have to use multiple pieces, whereas the long side will give you one full cohesive look. You don't have to have an extra part of the board. I used my 4-inch ribbon to basically trace, since this was going to be what covered the outside of the box. I didn't want the walls of the heart too high, so that's why I traced it before I cut it. I wanted to make sure my measurements were on point. We used 4 long inch pieces to make the walls of the heart, and I'll show you guys what I mean by that in just a bit. Originally, I was using scissors, and then I realized that it just was not cutting the way I needed it to, so I ended up resorting to a knife or a box cutter. Whatever seems to work better for you. Just make sure that you get something sharper than some scissors, because it's not going to cut the board evenly, at least. I used the same board I originally cut when I traced the ribbon to make sure that my boards were even across the board when it came to having the same even size heights for the heart. After you cut your foam board, you want to use your X-Acto knife to cut the first, and I do mean the first layer of your board. Cutting the first layer will allow the board to bend enough to make the wall curve without cutting completely through to make it crack. You're going to repeat that step for all 4 pieces of your wall. After that, it is time to glue those walls on. Now, I did not, and I repeat, I did not add the ribbon before I glued the walls on, because I didn't know if this was actually going to work, to be honest with you, but it actually worked. And I'm not saying that you can't glue the walls on before, but what I'm saying is if you decide to do it and it doesn't come out right, you didn't learn this from me. After I completed gluing the walls for the heart, I ended up sanding down just with a nail file. Now, you don't have to do this, but I decided to do it just to make the edges a little smoother when it came to the styrofoam, so that was just my preference. It made it look better to me. Then we used hot glue to line the outside of the walls. Now, I did this step for the inside too, but you guys did not see that because I did not record that part. But line the inside and the outside if you want to elevate your look. After that, we moved on to painting the hearts chocolate. I did that off camera using the color Burnt Umber from Michaels. 2 coats, so let it dry before you apply the second one. Then we made the pieces that go around the chocolate. So I used pink cardstock and I cut it into 3s. All I did was bend them, like just keep creasing it until you got to the end. I did not measure the creases. I just eyeballed it because it was just, I didn't want it to look so uniform. I wanted it to kind of appear like realistic. After that, I cut the creases with some good scissors. I cut them in half because I did not want those to be taller than the chocolate hearts. It should look like this, and then you are going to repeat this for as many chocolate hearts it takes to cover them up. As y'all could tell, I had a lot of hearts, so I had to crunch a lot of pink. Now, I used 4 of these for each heart, which was a total of, if I'm not mistaken, like 36 or 40. After I hot glued all 4 pieces together for like 8 hearts, I ended up adding the pink sparkled backdrop. Now, that's just pink wrapping paper. I did not want the bottom to actually be white. I wanted it to be pink. Since my client wanted pink and red for her colors, I wanted to accent that color with pink. I also made sure that my chocolates, after I had coated them twice, had a little hint of pink to it, as well as the pink beads that were hot glued onto the hearts as well. After I knew what I wanted to do with the hearts, I placed them strategically in each little hole to make sure that there weren't pieces that looked the same were next to each other. I wanted to give it balanced. I did not show the finished product because I did not know that this was actually going to get the attention that it did. I kept the heart in half until I got to my client's house because of transportation. I did not want to break or damage it, so I literally just kind of slid one piece underneath the tree, and then I slid the other piece underneath the tree. After that, I added extra tissue paper to hide the pink. I wanted it to be really covered. And there you have it, a heart-shaped box of chocolates for a tree. Now, I know this video was a little choppy, so don't judge your girl. I was not expecting this video to go as crazy as it did. So if you want some more tutorial videos on how I make other things, then let your girl know. But until then, I will see y'all soon. I hope this video helps. It was definitely a lot of work, so if you don't feel like doing it on your own, you can always DM your girl and I will ship you one. Bye.